Hey there, so today we have another review. This is Hopslam again. I don't know if you guys have ever, you guys have been around the channel for a while. I have a lot of videos about this beer, and almost everyone's like overrated, overrated, overrated. I was just checking out my channel. I think I've rated this beer anywhere from like 87 might be not the low, 87 somewhere, somewhere is like somewhere on the lower end, and then I think 91's the high. So if you guys know my channel, that's a good rating, but like not a great rating, especially for a beer that is like pretty like hyped up. I guess well maybe not anymore, but like for a while it was. It comes out once a year, big deal. It also pulls the price tag. I found this beer for 20. I want to say $21 a six pack. Obviously, I only bought one can, but it's like I mean I could almost buy two six packs of High Life, which is like I'd consider a world class beer. So hey, whatever. Last year I reviewed it, had no clue what the dating was. This is Best Buy January 24th. So I believe this just came out. It's probably a 3 month Best Buy. So this was probably canned a month to the date. And then I have this is 2 months more. 3 months. That's a really fair Best Buy. And a bunch of numbers on there that make no other sense, right? Let me see. 2015, 2024, and then 210.3. Is that Julian? 210 would put it at, yeah, I don't know, whatever. I suspect it's a month fresh. So I keep reviewing it for you guys. I mean, I'm hoping it gets views. Otherwise, like if you guys don't really care about this beer, I mean, I guess I'll check out from the views. I just maybe stop buying this beer. Like if this beer really at highest, it like my peak rating is like a 91, and I review it like every year. I've reviewed it at least like 5 times. And if it's gonna pull that price tag, what's the point, right? But hey, I'm always checking it out, see what this beer's about. It's a pretty important beer in the sense that it's one of the first important IPAs to use honey. They call it a honey double IPA. Jeez, this is illegible. By the way, they try to put white on green. I can't even read it this close, and you guys for sure can't read it on the camera. Anyway, it's a 10%. They call it double IPA, even though that like I think it used to be, or I would consider that a triple IPA. Double IPA with honey. Yeah, cool. Check it out. Beer comes in a really nice kind of deep gold color. Yeah, it's like not even light amber. It's just solidly deep gold. Actually, almost light amber. Light gold deep. Deep gold to light amber color. A little bit of chill haze on that fluffy white head, off white. Yeah, I mean this is fresh as hell, but they call it Hopslam, but it really is not a slamming beer. Like it smells good. It actually has a lot of that onion dank garlic thing that I like. They're just hunting for that more these days because just the palate's been overtaken by the market and my palate, and this channel has been overtaken by so much hazy. So like it's nice smelling a familiar beer. Definitely has a little bit of cat pee going on, a little bit of the pine, definitely some of the crystal malt sweetness. But yeah, I'm getting plastic too, like and yeah, anytime I got kids, but anytime you open or not even kids, but just products that are fresh, like that new car smell where there's a new product smell, like new plastic kind of thing, right? Like you open a new computer, laptop, all that like plastic wrapping and the actual I'm not crazy, right? There's an aromatic there, right? Whatever. Cheers. I have a pretty good temperature. Like this is not ice cold. First thing I noticed is smacks with a nice firm bitterness, which is nice. I'd say it's a medium plus, not full bitterness. Very smooth for 10%. Yeah, like, yeah, I gotta say it. This just tastes like when I did that experiment with High Life, where I stored it like fridge, outside, and just room temperature. And this beer just to me just always tasted like they aged it out a little bit in room temperature. Granted, this probably sat on the warm shelf for a month. I mean, again, this is pretty fresh. Like I think this had to have dropped, I think last week. So I mean, it's just fresh in my mind. Like I can't really get it fresher. And if you're gonna sell it to the market, it's a month fresh. It's a fresh like it probably again it drops the shelf probably last week. So like I'm picking it up like on the weekend. So it's like barely maybe a week. Who knows? Up front, piney, just like the nose. A little bit of that onion garlic dank thing. The dank comes in, a little bit of the cat pee. I mean, I've never drank cat pee, so I don't really know what it tastes like. But lingering like pine, resin, there's no like juicy character to it. Like not that it has to be like a hazy IPA, but like usually you complement these flavors with like a juicy grapefruit, or sometimes it's like juicy malt. There's a little bit of juicy malt in here, and what I mean by juicy malt, it's not necessarily fruitiness, but like this kind of like sweet, sort of like what's a good analogy? Like sort of like when you bite into a candy, like a box of chocolates, and you bite into it, and there's that caramel, right? That sweetness, but it's a textural thing. So when I say juicy, I guess it's a mouthfeel and sweetness thing. So it's like sweet caramelly, and it sort of covers the palate, right? Like that's sort of what beer can do, like mouthfeel with beer, because it is a drink, but then like there's parts of the malt that can give a mouthfeel of like that sort of like explosion of like a box chocolate kind of thing, right? Where it's chocolate, and you bite into it, and or a cordial. There you go, like one of those candy cordial thingies where the liquor is inside, and there's that liquid's in there, right? The caramel's in there, and it's a liquid, and it sort of like makes it a different textural mouthfeel kind of experience. Sweetness and malt can sometimes do that. I get a little bit of that. And so it's a nice counterplay of that little bit of like that crystal malt sweetness with the solid, firm, piney bitterness on this beer. As I drink it more, and as you allow it to sort of like open up on your palate, you get more of this kind of like fresh cut garlicky kind of thing, and also that kind of like plasticky dank thing. I was listening to a podcast. Someone had a really good analogy. I forget what it was like. I think it was an analogy like plastic. It was on the Beer Temple podcast, on one of the West Coast IPA brewers called it like a plasticky ester even. I don't know. But for sure, like, yeah. This is not, I wouldn't say it's an ester. It has to be a hop compound. It has a little bit of that hop saturation thing that I like. Like Heady Topper does it very well. Highlight does it very well. Where it's like this resonating, like it's a mouthfeel experience where it's like the hops are like oily almost, and they take over your palate. Sometimes hops can have like just the fruity flavors, the piney flavors, and bitterness, and just that. But like when you get that echoing kind of sense of like oily hop and sort of your teeth, and you're almost like, what is on my palate? That's a fun experience, and you can get a little bit of here. Okay. So when you try this beer, I highly recommend doing what I just did. Tons of that retro nasal. When you do tons of that retro nasal, it actually activates that aromatic that I was getting, and it's fun. You can call it rubber, plastic, allium, garlic, onion. It's something there it's not a thiol, but it's like a thiol, if that makes any sense to you. So fun flavor note, and it's actually pretty good. I don't always specifically remember finding that in this beer, and it's a really fun note that less and less beers, I guess, have. Like, right, it's rare. The hazy IPAs for sure are just completely avoiding it. As I wait more, I get a little bit more of this kind of like grapefruit pith thing, but really lacks any kind of like noticeable kind of fruity characteristics that I would specifically call out. It stands there, just right there. It's actually pretty good, I want to say, just because I find that allium, dang, cappy, plasticky thing to be interesting and unique-ish. Obviously not, tons of beers that have it, but like not many beers in the market have it, right? At least that are easily accessible that I'm reviewing for you guys, blah, blah. I'm sure if you live in San Diego or Pacific Northwest, there's tons of delicious IPAs that have this wonderful complexity to it. Breathe, like let the retro nasal hit you. It's fun. Despite talking, all the smack about the beer, this rates up with what I consider the best batch of the beer I've ever had years ago, and that was a 91. So I'm gonna give this a 91. It's good. Is it worth the price tag? No, for sure not. Like, you can buy world class, amazing IPA on the shelf that's like 95 or higher, 94 or higher at like way lower price that you can find year round. There's nothing necessarily special about this beer in my mind. I mean, also, like, you talk about the honey thing. Ideally, honey's like completely fermentable, but it can offer a little bit of flavor note. So, maybe the honey in here is playing a little bit with that little bit of crystal malt to offer a little bit of rounded, maybe some sweetness, some of this mouthfeel that I'm talking about. But 91, solid beer. Pulls and cons below. Maybe this should be the last one I ever review, but maybe I'll search again next year and find more complexity in the beer, and we'll keep going higher. But try it out. Until next time, cheers later.